Okay, some of the stuff hanging in your closet right now may be secretly aging you. And I'm not talking about the obvious things like having an orthopedic shoe or like a cardigan from the 80s. No, these are pieces that you actually probably think are actually chic. You might even think that they're timeless and even elegant, but they're actually making you look outdated and old. And you're not alone, because I have made loads of these mistakes myself. In fact, I probably made all of these mistakes. But don't worry, I've got the swaps to easily freshen up your look, and trust me, it's so much easier than you think. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm so excited to get into today's video. And I have to say, this is gonna be one that I know is gonna ruffle some of your feathers. Whenever I do a fashion video, there's always people saying, but I love that, and I'm gonna wear that, and that's hanging in my closet, and how can you say that, Tracy? I'm not telling you what to do, but I am just giving you and myself a little nudge. Look, I'm 50 years old. We all want to look fresher. We want to look more current. And we also don't want to look like we're trying too hard. If you have something that you absolutely love and you're like, I'm not getting rid of it, don't. Free will here on this channel. But I would hate for you to be making some of these mistakes and not even knowing it. And I also know from some of you that you're a little bit confused. And I know that I went through this myself, even as young as when I was 35, of kind of like, how am I supposed to dress now? Because the stuff that I used to wear is definitely not gonna work now. And now that I'm a mom and I'm 50, there are changes that we must make. So let's dive into it. Now, I am a Chanel lover. I love Chanel so much, and probably it's my favorite designer. I have a collection of Chanel purses that I like to think of as like my other children, little investment pieces that I have that I truly do love. And I feel like they're things that I'm gonna have for generations, because not only will I be using them, but my fancy little daughter, I know, will also be loving them as well. And one of their signature looks is the sort of matching set. And if you are wearing overly matching sets, you might be dating yourself. Now, let's face it, wearing matching sets has really been having a moment over the last few years. And I do love them in a sense, because you kind of are getting 2 for 1, right? If you've got a coordinated set, you can wear the top with a different bottom, the bottom with a different top, and it's kind of like you're getting more bang for your buck. But if you are doing that sort of really classic matching set, it's definitely aging you. And especially if you're a corporate girly, be careful with this. So what's one way to freshen it up? So easy. Just separate your matching sets. You know, like I just said, wear the top with a different bottom, bottom with a different top. Play with how you're wearing things, or do something sort of like what I'm doing today, which is more of a tonal look. I have this brown from the cardigan, and there's a deeper brown in the skirt. And while it's not a set, it just kind of is pulling it all together. And I would encourage you to really play with that. Now, if you've got Chanel pieces, or even Chanel inspired pieces, which I have both, just make sure that you're wearing them with something that's a little bit more current, fresher, and now. For example, I got this insane vintage Chanel jacket. I love it so much. It was a huge treat for myself. And I was just like, you know what? I'm 50. I have to have it. I didn't have any Chanel clothing, and I was like, I'm going to invest in this. But I would never wear it if it came with the matching skirt, or even another knit skirt, because that's going to make me look like an old, elegant, but old lady. Now, what do? I wear it with jeans. So I just wear this jacket over a tank top and a pair of like nice wide leg jeans, and I feel chic, I feel elegant. I know I'm wearing Chanel, so it feels really good. So I play with it. I also have like more of a knit sort of sweater kind of jacket that I've had for years. By the way, it's from H&M, so I am across the mark here. You do not have to spend a lot of money to look chic. And that little knit sweater, I just love. Again, same thing with a skirt or with jeans. And I just think it looks really fresh, even though it has that nod to a more classic style. Because no one wants to be walking around the streets feeling like a little granny, unless of course you are a little granny. And if you are, then hats off, do whatever you want. The second thing that you might be doing that is making you look older and definitely outdated is not paying attention to your undergarments. Raise your hand if you've had some of the same underwear and bras for over 10 years. it is not a good thing. You gotta really change things up. And if you're wearing the wrong undergarment underneath your clothing, you might be actually ruining your whole outfit and really just making you look a bit like a mess. Now, I am someone who actually doesn't wear a bra that often, and so this is actually even more important for me. But there are certain instances where I feel like having a little bit more coverage, a little bit more support is really important. And so for me, it is crucial to find things that are comfortable, to find things that are smooth, and are things that make me kind of feel like I'm not wearing anything at all. And that's why I'm so happy to be working with our sponsor today, Comfelie. Comfelie is a company dedicated to helping women look and feel their best. They use up to 43% spandex in their products. Most other brands out there only use 15%. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, why does that matter, Tracy? That's gonna give you more stretch, more elasticity, and just give you your most overall comfortable experience. I mean, their name is Comfelie, which I love. And something else that's actually really important to me is that they are certified for a long-term wearing experience. Did you know that other brands and companies put harmful chemicals into some of their clothings? I'm talking about your bras, I'm talking about your workout clothes, and especially if you're gonna be wearing something for a long time, for instance, like your bra, you wanna make sure that there's no harmful substances that your skin is absorbing. Now, like I said earlier, historically, I'm not a huge bra wearer, but with Comfelie, I can wear their bras literally all day long, and it feels comfortable. I feel breathable, and even in this Miami heat, it lets my skin breathe, and you kind of feel like you have nothing on, but you're getting that support and coverage that sometimes we all want and need. And I also know from their website that if you are a larger girly and you are well endowed, Comfelie is the brand for sure for you, because they make sure that their straps are more like jelly-like and they're not gonna cut into your skin. And that is so, so important, because even as a small girly, that is the worst feeling in the world, feeling like you're just working with your straps all day and it's cutting into your skin. I hate that. This bra is designed for ultimate support. And their triangular gel strips prevent shifting, and it really just gives you such a comfortable and secure fit. I love how stylish and flattering this is. And it is a 3D breathable cup, which means that it enhances airflow, so you're never gonna feel hot, you're never gonna feel suffocated in your bra. And it's made from skin-friendly fabric, which has over 10,000 micro vents for ultimate comfort. As a girl living in Miami, this is really important. This is the lightest bra you will ever wear. It is so light, it feels like air, and it's portable. It gives you comfort without any burden. I love this. It literally feels like you're wearing nothing at all. How cute is this contrasting strap design? I love it because it's so stylish and distinctive, and I love this little kind of mesh detail in the front. It's got double C-gel support and 5 C-shaped gel strips for enhanced side fit. So again, you can say bye-bye to any bra bulges. Oh, and by the way, they also have these incredible leggings on their site that have tummy control and are shaping. And when I tell you, these feel like butter on your skin, and I am absolutely obsessed with the color. These have already moved up to being like a fan favorite for me. So definitely, if you haven't already checked out Comfelie, this is your sign to do so today. I will leave all of their information down below in the description box for you. If you don't know where the description box is, let me tell you. Underneath my head here, you're gonna see the title of today's video. Click on the word more, and if you're on mobile, you'll tap on more again. And like I said, I hooked you up with a special discount just for my YouTube community for you to check out Comfelie today. Money can't buy you class. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't worry. So Luann de Lesseps, the Countess Luann, was really, really famous on The Real Housewives of New York, wearing those big chunky necklaces. And you don't have to be a housewife, because I know some of you love the housewives, some of you hate the housewives. I love them. But they really, especially in those days when Luann was on, there were like a lot of necklaces. In fact, so much that there's an Instagram account called The Real Bad Necklaces. It's hilarious. But definitely in the early 2000s, which now, how crazy is that? That's like 20 years ago. I can't. But anyway, we really were into those big, chunky necklaces, statement necklaces. And listen, if you are still doing this, even if you invested money in them, pack them away, at least for right now. We all know, especially if you're over the age of 30, that fashion is really cyclical. And in my experience, it's usually like a 20-year cycle. Things just come back and back again. And now I have gone through at least 2 of these where I'm like, wait a minute, what? That's how I dressed in college, and now it's back again. So you don't have to get rid of your old statement necklaces, but just don't wear them right now. Donate them, or maybe give them to a friend, or like I said, just pack them away in a little box, because they might be back, especially if it's something that you actually invested some money in. Now, instead, what should you be doing? Just something a little bit more simple, especially if you're over the age of 40 and like me, 50 years old. I actually don't want a ton of attention to my neck and my chest. Now, this is like my little signature look, and this is such an easy thing to do. It's just a very thin necklace. I have my grandma's wedding band, and I have a little L for Lucci. This I actually got on Amazon. So, you know, it has meaning. It is special to me. You know, the chain costs something, but like I've had this necklace itself for years and years and years, and I just really like them together. Something a little bit more understated is going to be better than those big chunky beaded necklaces that are really causing all that attention to be to your neck and your chest. Because as we get older, this is an area that's actually harder to keep looking youthful and fresher and, you know, just looking our best. Now, some of you might say, well, I like a little of energy and attention. Well, why don't you try a little scarf? I mean, I think that is so chic, just tying a little scarf around your neck and kind of being a little bit like jaunty, maybe a little Parisian, if you will. But if you're working with jewelry, definitely, especially for the necklaces, keep it a little bit less chunky. Now, some of you might have noticed that chunky jewelry is actually really coming in, especially when it comes to like cuffs. Now, at 50 years old, I'm not following trends. I'm gonna like wear what I want, what makes me feel good, what makes me feel my most confident. However, I do think it's important to sort of notice like what are some of the directions that things are going into. And right now, for sure, it is a little bit of a chunkier bracelet. So if you wanna go chunky, keep it on your wrist. If you wear a bracelet, I actually don't wear bracelets at all. So that's a perfect example. I'm not following the trends. If you told me I had to wear like a big old chunky bracelet, I wouldn't, because I am 5'1" and I want to keep all the length that I have. But that is just like a good way if you want to have that more of a bold statement, have like a chunkier bracelet that will look a little bit more current. If we're talking about a necklace, I would say something thinner, more delicate, and maybe more of like a signature piece that is not the Luann signature, right? We're about halfway through the video, and I just want to thank you so, so much for being here. You are awesome, you are amazing, and this is what I love about YouTube, is this community of women that we are really growing here. If you haven't already, it's totally free to do so. Please click on that subscribe button. It is a free way to support my channel for making this free content for you each and every week. Click on the thumbs up if you like this video, and really tap on that bell so you always get notified when I have a new video that goes live. And if you're new here, say hello. We want to welcome you into the comments. I love interacting with my community, whether you're new or not, but definitely for our new members of the community, I want to say hi and say thank you so much for being here and welcome you into our community of women that wants to look amazing at any age and any stage. Now, this one I love so much because I feel like it's something that we actually don't think of that often, but let me tell you, it makes a world of difference. And that is being two perfectly put together. Let me explain. So for instance, what am I wearing right now? I'm wearing a skirt, a pair of heels. You can't see them, but I am wearing a little heel for you. I have on a sweater, okay? If I had this, even just with the sleeves down, it changes it. Scrunch it up a little bit. If I had the sweater untucked, which I'm not gonna do right now because then I'll have to tuck it back in, it's gonna make me look a little bit more boxy, less put together. So these small little details of maybe unfinishing your look are going to make you look more current. I like to think of this as the philosophy of like, kind of messing it up just a little bit. So for instance, if I'm wearing just like a pair of jeans and a button-up top, I am not a girl that likes that look of it buttoned all the way up, nor do I like the sleeves on anything all the way down. I hate sleeves. I always have my sleeves scrunched up. I just think it's such an easy way to look chicer, to look more put together, and to look just a little bit more current because you don't look stuffy. I do this even with my blazers, you know, and sometimes here's a little trick for you. If you can't get your blazer to stay up, take kind of outstretched hair ties and you just kind of put it on your elbow like this, and then you could sort of scrunch it under and it will stay perfectly for you, and it also will not cut off your circulation. But when we add something unexpected to our look, whether it be like scrunching up the sleeves, rolling up the hem on your pants, adding a color that's unexpected, even just kind of like messing up your hair a little bit, it's going to make you look fresher. Like for instance, if I'm going to like a black tie event or something, and maybe I'm wearing, you know, something sort of off the shoulder, I likely am either gonna wear my hair down and almost kind of like beachy, kind of like messy waves so that it just looks a little bit less done, because if I did like a big like 90s blowout or something, it's gonna look too perfect. Same goes when my hair is up, I'll take out those pieces. Now you might be thinking, Tracy, that's not clothes, but it's all your whole look. So, you know, if you're wearing something that's very fancy, you might want less done hair. If you're wearing something that is like very basic, like jeans and a button up top, maybe you unbutton it a little bit, scrunch up those sleeves, or maybe, you know, you roll up the jeans, the cuff of your jeans to just give you that little bit of interest, because even without changing the actual items that you're wearing, it's gonna make you look way more current. And guess what? It didn't even cost you $1 to do that. Okay, this is another one that was a huge, huge trend years ago, and I feel like almost every summer they try to put this one on us. And if you are doing this, you likely are not looking your best, and that is the lace-up shoes and specifically sandals. I hate a gladiator, and I'm sorry if you're doing that, unless you have twiggy little legs like Kate Moss. And let's face it, even Kate Moss now doesn't have Kate Moss legs from the 90s anymore. I mean, it's normal, it's natural, our bodies change as we get older. Do not do this, and here's why. It cuts off the length of your leg, and I think it's really, really hard for you to look chic, look elegant, really look put together, and not look like you're dating yourself. Like, oh, you bought those shoes like 20 years ago on vacation and you just can't give them up. Now, sandals are another thing. You know, every single summer it comes around like a strappy sandal, a this or that. But here's the thing. I am a short queen. I am 5'1½". Although the last time I went to the doctor, they told me I was 5'2". So let's just round it up. I'm 5'2". I don't want anything cutting off my lines. Not on my wrists, and certainly not on my ankles. My legs are not long at all. They're like most people's little arms, right? So for me to have a strap on my ankle, it is a cut. The only exception to this rule is if it sort of matches your skin tone. Everybody's skin tone is different. So I love doing the invisible shoe trick in lieu of this. So every summer I try to find shoes that really match my skin tone. Tiki's is a fantastic brand. I've talked about them a lot on my channel. They're leather, really simple sandals that come in a really wide range of shades that I think is amazing because everybody has a different skin tone. So everyone can find something, so you get that invisible shoe effect. Now that matters because that's just gonna keep the length of your leg going, and that's what we all want. And as far as heels and strappy sandals in the summertime, it's the same rule. I try to find ones that kind of just mimic my skin tone, and I personally do not wear an ankle strap at all unless it's hidden by long pants. Now, if you are taller and you have really slim legs, like I have a girlfriend who I tell her all the time, I'm like, you have Barbie legs. If I had her legs, I would never wear pants at all. But she is someone that could definitely get away with a strap on a sandal or possibly even like a short gladiator. But those ones that go all the way up your thigh, it is time to let those go. Now, this next one is something that I've certainly been guilty of myself, but I like the positive aspect of this because it really opens things up for a new way of thinking. Let me explain. If you have a boxy denim jacket that you've had since like 1985, it's time to let her go. Now, that shape, look, Levi's are like, I have 501 Levi's that I've had for a million years. I love the fit of them. They're straight, they're classic, you know, they're gonna be around. But right now, it's just not a silhouette that looks really current. Denim is never gonna go out of style. And if it's something you love, great, do it, you know, add a little something unfinished, add a little scarf to it, jaunt it up a little bit. But that's not a shape or a silhouette right now that's really gonna make you look your most current, and it's probably dating you a little bit. But here's what you can do instead, and I actually found some great ones online. A larger, sort of more slouchy, oversized denim jacket is going to look way more chic, more current, more elevated, and honestly, it's the same material, right? I love this idea because I live in Miami and it's always freezing in restaurants, and I have a problem sometimes with finding that perfect third piece. Sometimes denim is just like the perfect shade, like that would look so cute over this, right? So I just actually ordered 2 new oversized jackets. One has sort of a rounded hem. Hopefully it will be here in time for this video to go live for you to actually see it. If it doesn't, then I'll just insert images here. And the other one I actually got on Amazon, and I just loved the length of it, the size of it. I got it in my size in small, but I'm not sure because it did say that it runs a little bit big, so we'll see. And if not, then I'll just buy it in a medium and it'll be even larger. But I thought, now that looks really cool. And I also do love playing with that idea of denim on denim because I do wear a lot of denim. So if you're wearing that just straight, square sort of denim jacket that you've had for 20 years, it's time to update it a little bit. Again, same thing, fold it up in a little box, put it at the top of your closet, and maybe in a few years, you can pull it back out again. Now, this is one that I have absolutely been called out hardcore by one of my best friends who actually is the co-host on my podcast. Did you guys know that I have a podcast? I will leave it linked in the description box, but we have a podcast called Over 40 and Fuck It, spelled F-U-K-I-T. And it is with my friend Erin Hirsch, who's been a dear, dear friend of mine now for about 30 years, but she's also a stylist. And she has opinions. And one time she told me that my shoes look like Minnie Mouse shoes. And while it did hurt my ego a little bit, I was like, she's not wrong, because I had bought these, I was looking for sort of a wedge sandal and I couldn't find any with an open toe. So I got this one with a round toe, and she was like, you need to go to jail if you wear these again. So I got rid of them. But round-toed pumps or heels are just not looking great right now. So here's what you can do instead that's so, so easy. A round toe flat. I personally don't love how a ballet flat looks on me, which is actually hilarious because I used to be a ballet dancer, but I just don't think that's a look for me. For some reason, I will do a round toed slide. I have a couple pairs of slides as long as the heel is out. Why do I feel like that works better? I don't know, but more of a rounded toe flat is going to look a little bit more elevated, more current than a round toe heel. So check in your closet right now, especially if you are a corporate girly and you're wearing heels that have a rounded toe. It's probably time to update them. A little bit more of a pointed look is gonna just look much, much better. Now, is it gonna be as comfortable? I say yes, and here's why. It depends, right? Always look for comfort and what's gonna make you feel your best. But I find that if I just size up a half a size in heels, like for instance, right now I'm wearing a pair of kind of mock cork-heeled Manolos, and instead of getting the size 7, I now do a 7.5. It just gives me a little bit more room, and I feel that it just feels so much more comfortable. Also, if you want to add more length to your body, having a more pointed toe is the way to go. So if you've got those rounded toe heels, it is time to let them go. So that is what I have for you today. Again, don't get upset. Fashion is supposed to be fun, but I know that we all want to look and feel our best, and these are just a couple easy tweaks that you can make that are going to give you such huge payoff in looking fresher, more updated, and really shaving a few years off. So if you want to keep hanging with me here on YouTube, make sure to check out this video next, and I'll see you there.